Have you ever wondered what happens behind the scenes of the world's most beloved chocolate bars and nostalgic treats? From the crispy snap of a KitKat to the sparkling crunch of rock candy, these sweets have captured hearts across generations and continents. But what makes them so irresistible isn't just their taste, it's the fascinating story of how they're made, the surprising history behind them, and the incredible technology that transforms simple ingredients into cultural icons. Today we're unwrapping the secret life of chocolate and sugar, diving into the factory lines, the science, and the sheer artistry that make KitKat and rock candy more than just snacks, they're edible legends. So grab your sweet tooth and settle in because this story is one you won't forget. KitKat, one of the most famous chocolate bars on the planet, actually began as a humble worker's snack in the United Kingdom. Back in 1935, a confectionery company called Rowntree's, based in York, introduced it under the name Chocolate Crisp. Just 2 years later it was rebranded as KitKat Chocolate Crisp, and eventually the world came to know it simply as KitKat. The design was brilliant in its simplicity, 4 slim wafers coated in creamy chocolate, easy to break apart and share. The genius of KitKat wasn't just in the flavor, it was in the experience. Snapping those fingers apart created a ritual that instantly connected with people, and this sense of taking a break eventually inspired the slogan that would echo across the globe: "Have a break, have a KitKat." The bar's popularity skyrocketed in post-war Britain, and by the late 20th century, it was on its way to becoming an international sensation. In 1988, Nestlé acquired the brand globally, except in the US, where Hershey produces KitKat under license. Today, KitKat is sold in more than 80 countries, with a staggering 192 billion bars consumed since its creation. If you line them all up, you could circle the earth multiple times. In Japan alone, KitKat has achieved cult status, with more than 300 unique flavors, everything from matcha green tea to sake to wasabi, showcasing just how versatile and adventurous this chocolate icon can be. What's even more fascinating is how KitKat production embraces efficiency and sustainability without sacrificing taste. Did you know that the filling inside a KitKat is made partly from recycled KitKats? That's right. Any bar that doesn't meet quality standards gets crushed and blended into the creamy filling. This clever method not only gives KitKat its unique flavor but also makes the process nearly zero waste. Every imperfect bar gets a second chance, transformed into the delicious layers hidden between the wafers. The production process begins with chocolate, and it's nothing short of an engineering marvel. High-quality cocoa beans are cleaned, roasted, and ground into a paste known as cocoa liquor. This liquor is then combined with sugar, milk powder, and cocoa butter to create the base chocolate mixture. Giant industrial mixers blend everything into a smooth, rich mass, which is then passed through precision rollers to reduce particle size and achieve that silky texture. The mixture then undergoes a process called conching, where it's continuously stirred at warm temperatures to enhance its flavor and remove any bitterness. The result is velvety, melt-in-your-mouth chocolate that forms the outer layer of every KitKat. Nestlé produces over 60,000 tons of chocolate annually just for KitKat production alone, enough to coat entire football stadiums. Meanwhile, in another section of the factory, the all-important wafers are being baked. These ultra-thin sheets are created from a batter of wheat flour, sugar, starch, and leavening agents. The batter is spread onto massive metal belts and baked in ovens that stretch longer than a city bus. Out come crisp, golden wafers that are inspected for thickness, snap, and texture. A KitKat wafer has to be just right, light and airy but also strong enough to support the layering and coating process. At Nestlé's York factory in the UK, more than 20 million wafers are baked every single day. Once the wafers are ready, the magic begins. The sheets are ground into a fine powder and blended with chocolate and recycled KitKat bars to form the creamy filling. This filling is spread evenly between layers of wafers by robotic arms that work with precision and speed. Each KitKat finger is constructed with 3 layers of wafer and 2 layers of filling, carefully pressed into compact blocks before being sliced into perfect uniform fingers. Every cut has to be flawless because the bar's signature snap depends on it. The fingers then move along conveyor belts to the enrobing station. This is where the rich, warm chocolate comes cascading down over the wafers, coating each one completely. A vibrating platform helps the coating settle evenly, while air bubbles are removed to ensure a flawless finish. Temperature and viscosity are tightly controlled to achieve that glossy, picture-perfect surface. At full speed, the enrobing line can coat more than 800 bars per minute, an astonishing display of efficiency. The bars then pass through a long cooling tunnel, where the temperature drops gradually from around 45 degrees Celsius to about 10 degrees. This careful process prevents cracks and ensures that every KitKat has that satisfying snap when you break it apart. Once cooled, the bars head to high-speed wrapping machines. Each KitKat is sealed in its iconic foil and branded wrapper, which protects the chocolate from moisture, light, and oxygen. The packaging also carries best before dates, allergen details, and traceability codes so the product can be tracked from factory to store. After wrapping, bars are counted, sorted, and packed into cartons ready for shipment across the world. With over 17 billion KitKat fingers sold each year, this process never sleeps. While the classic milk chocolate KitKat remains the bestseller, the brand continues to innovate. From chunky single-finger bars to duo flavors that mix mint, mocha, and caramel with crispy wafers, the lineup keeps expanding. In the US, seasonal varieties like pumpkin pie and birthday cake KitKats delight fans, while in Japan, the brand is practically a laboratory of creativity. You'll find flavors like Sakura cherry blossom, purple sweet potato, and even soy sauce. Yes, soy sauce KitKats exist and they're surprisingly popular. But KitKat isn't the only sweet with an intriguing backstory. Enter rock candy, a treat with roots stretching back more than 1,000 years. This glittering sugar crystal isn't just a fun snack, it's a piece of edible history. Originating in India and Persia around the 6th century CE, rock candy was first discovered when cooks and early chemists learned that sugar could be purified and crystallized into large, sparkling clusters through slow evaporation. By the 9th century, the technique spread to the Islamic world, where rock sugar was prized both as a sweetener and as a medicine. It wasn't long before it reached Europe, where it became a luxury treat in the Middle Ages, often flavored with herbs and used to soothe sore throats. In America, rock candy became a nostalgic favorite in the 19th century, showing up in apothecaries and even lending its name to cocktails like rock and rye. Today, rock candy is produced on a massive scale, but the science behind it hasn't changed much since ancient times. The process begins with purified water heated in large stainless steel tanks. Sugar is added gradually and stirred until it dissolves completely, forming what's known as a supersaturated solution. This means the liquid contains more sugar than it can normally hold at room temperature, creating the perfect environment for crystals to grow as the solution cools. The mixture is filtered to remove impurities, and this is also when flavorings and food coloring are added. From classic strawberry and orange to exotic cinnamon and watermelon, the possibilities are endless. Some factories even split the batch into multiple tanks to create a rainbow of flavors at once. Next comes the seeding stage. Wooden sticks or cotton strings are dipped in sugar syrup and allowed to dry, leaving a rough surface for new crystals to cling to. These seeded sticks are then suspended in the sugar solution inside large crystallization tanks. The tanks are placed in carefully controlled rooms, where temperature and humidity are adjusted to encourage slow, steady crystal growth. Over the next 5 to 10 days, sparkling sugar clusters gradually form along the sticks. The longer they remain in the solution, the larger the crystals grow. In cooler rooms, the crystals come out sharper and clearer, while warmer environments produce cloudier, softer shapes. Once the crystals have reached their desired size, the sticks are removed, dried, and packaged into the rock candy we know and love. This simple yet mesmerizing process makes rock candy not only a sweet treat but also a popular science experiment for kids. Watching sugar crystals grow day by day feels like a little piece of magic, yet it's pure chemistry in action. It's no wonder this candy has endured for centuries, bridging cultures and generations with its dazzling appearance and satisfying crunch. Imagine walking into a candy shop and being surrounded by colors so bright and flavors so sweet that they instantly transport you back to childhood. Candy has a magical way of sparking joy no matter your age, and today we're going to uncover the fascinating stories and production secrets behind 3 legendary sweets: rock candy, Jaffa Cakes, and PEZ. Each one is unique in taste, history, and culture, yet all 3 have something in common. They're more than just treats, they're icons. From kitchen science experiments to billion-dollar factory operations, this journey will give you a behind-the-scenes look at how these classics are crafted, packaged, and loved around the world. So grab a snack and settle in because this is going to be a delicious ride. Rock candy is one of the simplest yet most mesmerizing candies ever created. At its core, it's nothing more than sugar and water, but the process of watching sugar crystals slowly grow over days or weeks has fascinated children and adults alike for generations. Once your rock candy has grown to the perfect size, it's carefully removed from the jar and left to dry on wax paper or a cooling rack. This final drying step gives the crystals their crunch, locking in that glass-like shine. Once hardened, it's ready to eat or display, sparkling like jewels under the light. Homemade versions can be wrapped in clear plastic for gifts, used as party favors, or stored in airtight containers to keep them fresh. Rock candy is more than just a sweet snack. It's an edible science project and a nostalgic piece of Americana that continues to bring wonder into classrooms, kitchens, and candy shops. What makes rock candy even more fun is its incredible variety. While the base is always sugar, candy makers have turned this simple treat into a rainbow of possibilities. In the US, fruity favorites like cherry, grape, watermelon, green apple, and blue raspberry dominate store shelves. Cotton candy, bubblegum, cinnamon, and root beer flavors add a playful twist that appeals to kids and adults alike. But rock candy isn't just a Western tradition. Across the Middle East and Asia, it has been infused with floral flavors like rose, jasmine, and lavender for centuries, often served alongside tea as a delicate, sweet accompaniment. Whether brightly colored sticks sold at state fairs or elegant crystal swirls used in cultural rituals, rock candy is a global reminder that even the simplest ingredients can create something truly magical. From one sweet classic to another, let's shift our attention to the United Kingdom, where Jaffa Cakes have been delighting fans since 1927. First introduced by the confectionery company McVitie and Price, Jaffa Cakes were inspired by the famous Jaffa orange, a citrus fruit grown in the Middle East that became the star flavor of the cake's filling. A Jaffa cake is a clever combination of 3 layers: a soft sponge base, a tangy orange jelly center, and a smooth coating of dark chocolate on top. While people often debate whether Jaffa Cakes are cookies or cakes, the answer was legally decided in a famous 1991 tax court case in the UK. McVitie successfully argued that Jaffa Cakes are cakes, which meant they were exempt from VAT tax, unlike biscuits. That quirky courtroom battle only added to their fame, and today over 1 billion Jaffa Cakes are eaten each year in Britain alone. The production process behind these little delights is a fascinating blend of tradition and high-tech automation. It starts with a sponge base made from flour, eggs, sugar, and water. Industrial mixers whip the batter until it's airy and smooth, ensuring the cakes will have that signature springy texture. The mixture is funneled into hoppers that dispense precise amounts of batter into circular molds moving along a conveyor belt. Each sponge is only about 2 inches in diameter, yet factories can churn out more than 2,000 bases per minute. The molds then pass through long tunnel ovens, where the batter bakes for 8 to 10 minutes at carefully controlled temperatures. Unlike cookies, which are meant to be crunchy, Jaffa Cake sponges are designed to stay soft and moist. Cameras and sensors monitor every batch to make sure the cakes come out golden and perfect. Once cooled, the sponges are topped with a carefully measured dollop of orange-flavored jelly. The filling is made in massive vats where sugar, pectin, and flavoring are cooked together until the jelly sets just right, firm enough to hold shape, but soft enough to melt in your mouth. Precision nozzles place the jelly in the center of each sponge, making sure it stays neatly in place. Then comes the best part, the chocolate coating. The cakes travel through an enrobing machine that coats their tops with glossy, tempered dark chocolate. Tempering is key here. It ensures the chocolate has a shiny finish and delivers that satisfying snap when you bite into it. After coating, the cakes move through cooling tunnels, where the chocolate sets into its final form. Only the tops are covered in chocolate. The sponge bottom stays exposed to give Jaffa Cakes their signature look. Quality control is taken seriously. High-speed cameras scan each cake every few milliseconds to check for imperfections. If a cake has off-center jelly or uneven chocolate, it's rejected and recycled. Once approved, the cakes are grouped into packs, usually 10 per tray, and sealed in protective wrapping. The packaging machines can wrap and seal thousands of packs per hour, complete with labels, barcodes, and nutritional information. From there, cartons are stacked and shipped to stores across the UK and beyond. The Manchester factory alone produces over 1 billion Jaffa Cakes every year, making it one of the busiest confectionery operations in Europe. While the original orange flavor remains the king, McVitie's has experimented with countless variations to keep fans excited. Flavors like strawberry, lemon lime, raspberry, and cherry are among the most popular alternatives, and limited editions have included everything from pineapple to cherry cola. In recent years, spin-off products like Jaffa Cake donuts and chocolate bars have appeared, showing just how versatile this little treat has become. What started as a humble sponge and jelly cake nearly a century ago has grown into a cultural phenomenon, loved by kids, adults, and nostalgic snackers alike. If Jaffa Cakes represent the perfect balance of fruit, cake, and chocolate, then PEZ is the ultimate marriage of candy and toy. Few candies in the world have the same level of playful charm. PEZ was first invented in Vienna, Austria in 1927 by Eduard Haas III as a simple peppermint breath mint. The name PEZ comes from the German word for peppermint, Pfefferminz, by combining the first, middle, and last letters, P, E, and Z. Originally, the mints were packaged in small tins and marketed as a sophisticated alternative to smoking. But everything changed in 1949 when the first PEZ dispenser was introduced. Designed like a lighter, it allowed people to enjoy mints in a hygienic, hands-free way. When the brand entered the U.S. market in the 1950s, it took a new direction, targeting children by adding fruit flavors and whimsical dispensers. That shift transformed PEZ into an international phenomenon. Today PEZ isn't just candy, it's a collectible empire. There are more than 1,500 dispenser designs featuring everything from Disney princesses and Star Wars characters to superheroes from Marvel and DC. Some rare dispensers are valued at hundreds or even thousands of dollars by collectors. But behind the fun designs lies a very precise manufacturing process. It begins with sugar, corn syrup, flavorings, and colorants, which are blended in large industrial mixers. The base is compressed dextrose, which gives PEZ its chalky yet satisfying texture. The flavored powder, cherry, orange, lemon, grape, and more, is carefully dried to remove moisture before compression. This step is crucial, because even a tiny amount of excess humidity could cause the candies to stick together or crumble. The dried powder is fed into high-pressure tablet presses that compact it into the classic rectangular PEZ shape. Each tiny candy weighs just 0.58 grams, yet machines can produce thousands of tablets every minute with perfect consistency. After pressing, the candies move into cooling chambers where they harden and dry completely. Every detail of the environment, temperature, airflow, humidity, is carefully controlled to keep the candy stable and prevent clumping. Workers perform regular spot checks for texture, color, and hardness, because even the smallest error could ruin entire batches. Meanwhile, the iconic dispensers are manufactured in parallel. Using colorful plastic molds, factories produce spring-loaded bases topped with character heads. Each dispenser is tested to make sure it works smoothly, popping out one candy at a time. Once both candies and dispensers are ready, the tablets are stacked into precise groups of 12 and loaded into either refill packs or directly into dispensers. Most retail packs include 2 or 3 sleeves of candy plus a themed dispenser. The final products are sealed in bright wrappers or display boxes before being shipped worldwide. The U.S. factory in Orange, Connecticut alone produces more than 3 billion PEZ tablets each year, making it one of the most iconic candy factories in the country. The beauty of PEZ is that it goes beyond candy. For many people it's about nostalgia, collecting, and the joy of owning a dispenser tied to their favorite characters. Whether you grew up with a Mickey Mouse PEZ in your lunchbox or you're an adult collector hunting for rare editions, PEZ is proof that candy can be both playful and deeply personal. It's part sweet, part toy, and 100% fun. From the sparkling simplicity of rock candy to the tangy richness of Jaffa Cakes and the playful charm of PEZ, each of these treats tells a story about creativity, culture, and joy. They're not just products on a shelf, they're tiny time machines that bring back memories, spark smiles, and connect people across generations. The next time you unwrap a piece of candy or open a snack pack, take a moment to think about the incredible journey it took to reach you. Behind every bite is a story, and those stories are what make our favorite treats so unforgettable.